Okay, let's go.
He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
Car. Roses would be.
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have,
you'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns, what's right?
Yeah.
I want a man's coolant.
and he's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light."
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West. Internet.
Is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke.
It loves to be driven hard.
Welcome to Auto Off Topic. What's up, Brad?
Not much, Andrew. What's going on with you?
You know, we're thawing it out. We're getting there. But it feels like a fall spring. So we'll see.
A false spring?
Yeah.
As in, you got to be tricked and it's going to be winter again next week?
Yeah, as in it's like tomorrow. There'll be a little bit of winter. But that's
Oh,
normal.
we're in also false spring here because it's been way too goddamn warm. So it's supposed to also drop next week.
Early summer?
Well, it's still spring, right? We still get spring, even though we have a different weather pattern than you.
Yeah.
It just gets warm and then hot, or it gets hot and then hotter, I guess is more what it is. So nonetheless, I'm not going to stress about it. And hopefully it drops a little bit because we've already hit like 90 some odd degrees here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain because I came here on purpose.
Yeah, what's it supposed to be like for the weekend? Because you get the NASCAR race there this weekend.
I think toasty. I don't know. I haven't even looked. I honestly haven't even bought tickets yet for the race. I'm not going to stress too much about that because normally I can get tickets.
All right, cool. Totally cut out there. There, now you're back. You're there. I can see you moving now.
So what happened?
You cut out when you're talking about buying tickets for NASCAR race. You weren't too worried about it. That's about where we left off.
And then you froze, and then everything went away and it said no connection.
Yeah, you froze.
You froze first.
Let's keep going.
Oh, well, let's see. Where were we at?
Wouldn't be a podcast without the internet.
I don't know what that was. Well, you know what happened was I opened up another window in order to check the weather on Sunday to find out what's going on for the race. It's going to be like 87 degrees is the high, which is toasty, which means that at the racetrack in the sun, it's also going to be toasty as the bright sun is usually with the toastiest part. But yeah, I have not bought tickets yet. I'm not worried about it. Usually I buy them right before on StubHub or something, and they wind up being cheaper. Last year when we went, the retail price of the tickets was like $80, and I think we paid $55 or something.
Nice.
So hopefully that happens again. But yeah, I'm definitely planning on going. Excited for it, actually. Haven't been I guess I wasn't there last year, I was there the year before. But I'm hoping that the 2311 truck has some merch that you can't get on their website because I don't really like anything they sell on their website, and it makes me mad that their stuff isn't good looking. So hopefully I can find something in person that I like. Otherwise, I'll have to visit the Trackhouse truck because I know Trackhouse has cool stuff.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about that a little bit later. You've got some project car updates, so that's really where the meat of this episode is going to be.
It really is. But before we get to the meat of the episode,
yeah,
we're missing a very important point here.
What are we missing?
What episode is this?
It's 400-ish. give or take. It's according to our current hosting program, Podbean, it's 400.
This
There's
is the
some
400th episode posted on Podbean.
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 lost ones at this point, but
At least.
yeah, it's like a literal handful of lost ones.
Yeah.
That just either failed or didn't make it or whatever. But so yeah, we're at like 400.
Yeah, we
Pretty
can't count
crazy.
lost episodes. I mean, 400 is 400. Like,
Yeah, so this will be 400.
there are
released
400 episodes that you can go out and hear, and 4 or 5 that you'll never know what
So
happened.
about
They're gone.
400 hours of us,
Yeah.
which is too much. Way too
One
much.
of those lost episodes, quite famously, is episode 300. So it's at least you're going to get to hear 400 if everything goes well the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
So, a big shout out to everybody who made the 300th episode possible. Someday it might get out there.
I don't even know where
We
it is
thank you.
anymore.
We know who you are. You know who you are. Other people who are on it know who you are, but it is what it is. 400, Andrew. So raise
That's
a glass.
the Patreon
I have
episode. You gotta. It's a
yeah,
secret Patreon.
it's our single only Patreon episode. Raise a glass in celebration of episode 400. I have a fresh, hot cup of coffee here, and I will take a sip of that right now in silence on the show. That's perfect radio content. Us both drinking
Seltzer
at
as
the same
usual?
time. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Actually, speaking of seltzer, we just bought a ton of seltzer because our local grocery store is having a huge polar sale. So
Okay.
it's
See ya.
two. So they're 8 packs at 2 for $5.
Oh, that is cheap for
So
out there.
$2.50 an 8 pack makes them what 25 cents or 30 cents, something like that a piece.
Yeah.
So
Here they basically give
I'll
it
take
away.
it.
But
Yeah, well, unfortunately, out here for a long time they were $8 for
they're
2 8
pricing
packs.
them like LaCroix.
Yeah, but they were on sale, so we bought. It was limit 12 per customer, so we went 3 times. So we have
Oh, we are 2 different customers.
Yeah, well,
Get
we
you
just
price.
went we just went 3 times. That's all. Every day on our way home from work this week, man, we just stopped in and bought some more polar. So we're gonna drink it no matter what, obviously, in this house. So it's
Get
good
like
to have
those
it.
Groucho glasses one day. And
Yeah, exactly.
like, man, if you just buy them different days, it's okay. You don't need to pretend.
It's like a deep cut here, but early season Family Guy when he's in the Costco like place and he's going out for the different samples wearing different hats.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, we have 3 times 12, so it's that 36 cases we bought. So it's like
Oh, so good enough for a week for me.
I was just thinking that's about a month's worth of seltzer here. She put 12 of them in the garage, and I was like, those aren't gonna last.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's worth it. So anyway, unimportant conversation. Project car updates. Yes, I have a big one. Fitting that for episode 400, I have a big celebration to talk about. The Starion runs, and not the old Starion, the newest Starion, the one I
Nice.
picked up last July, I think. I think it was July. I haven't spent much time working on it, but now there's the time because it's being prepared to run the Driving While Awesome, Camping While Awesome rally in May. So that means I have essentially 2 months to have the car 100% sorted. So I need the car running and driving within the next 2 weeks so that I have time to go through it and sort out everything else that needs to be sorted in the car. We do not know the last time the car ran, so I'm assuming it's going to need pretty much everything. Thankfully, because it's 2026 and people are still really into these cars, a very niche community of people are very into these cars, I can build an entire shopping cart of all the parts that I need from one place. So that's pretty good. As a specialist, somewhere on the east, in the southeast, maybe Tennessee, or I'm going to get wrong where he is, and I apologize. It's MKS Motorsports. His name is Mike Sorelli. He's pretty well known for having the gray 2J powered Starion that was in like Super Street and everything back in the day. And
Okay.
he's got another black hot rod one, but he makes a ton of parts and he sources a ton of parts. So I can get everything from him, from OEM ignition stuff to aftermarket parts. to make the car 100%. So he's going to get a good chunk of my upcoming paychecks to put that car back together. So we ran it last night. We got it running. And I think you called it, Andrew, when you
Yeah.
said it's going to be a win, much like the truck,
Yeah.
where it's not going to need much. It's just going to work. And that seems to be the case. So, first things first, I haven't fixed the tank yet. I think we talked about running the smoke test on the tank.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to bring that. I have a friend of mine who's willing to weld it up, or at least take a look at it and see if he can weld it up. So
Mhm.
that's going to happen. I'm hopefully bringing him the tank probably Saturday evening. We'll see what happens. If I can get him that tank and get that all taken care of. But before that, I said, you know what? Before you even get too deep in everything, let's just see if this thing runs. Let's figure out how to make it run, how to make it go, and kind of go from there. So last night, Naomi and I rolled the car out of the garage because didn't want to use I didn't want to have a bunch of fuel spraying everywhere in the garage because for all I knew, I was going to fire the thing up and it was going to have leaks everywhere and piss fuel everywhere, and I didn't want to cause a fire in the garage if I could help it. So I figured it was best to
Yeah.
roll the car out of the garage. Plus, I also wasn't sure what was going to come firing out of the exhaust or smoke wise or anything. I figured it was best to get the car outside. So we pushed the car outside. Turns out it's still outside because I don't have the power to get it back in the garage with the two of us because there's a little lip to go over and the car's
Ah.
heavy. So I'll have Roberto come over tomorrow and help me with that. But um, I pulled the fuel pump off of the old tank and tried to put power to it, and there was no. It made like a little chirp and then stopped. So it was definitely just frozen. Um, so I bought a new fuel pump, the standard OEM style replacement for now, until I figure out exactly what we're doing for fuel delivery in the future. But it's actually the same pump. It's like a universal fuel injection pump, inline pump for cars of that era. When I checked the part number that I was ordering, it's the same one that I ordered for the 80 Cressida and the Mercor. So it's the third one of these pumps I've bought. So it's definitely just a standard replacement pump. It's a um, not Delco, Delphi 0030 or something like that. Just a standard replacement pump. It flows enough fuel to not worry about anything that I'm going to probably do with this car. If I need to go bigger in the future, I'm going to make sure it's mounted within range of that access panel in the trunk. And it's not going to be all rusty like my old New England one was, which was made it hard to change in the car through the access panel. This should be okay. But anyways, we had that pump. I wired it up temporarily, put a couple eyelets on it, and then we used the power probe actually that your dad gifted me to give it power on a switch, um, which worked perfectly well for the situation. It was a little bit difficult to get the thing to prime, but once we got it to prime, we had fuel going through it, put everything together, fixed all the leaks that we made in all our connections, tightened everything back up again, ran through the pump, through the factory style dampener on the end of the pump, and then into the factory fitting on the fuel injection port on the throttle body on the car. And once it got fuel to it, the story is very short because it just fired right up on like a half a crank. It was like I parked it yesterday. It
Yeah. I was
it
expecting
sounded
like
good.
the injectors to be leaky or something, but because it's super common.
Now I think that there are leaks.
Okay.
Let's not say this is not perfect. It pissed fuel out around the fitting where the aluminum fitting meets the aluminum throttle body. And I think it leaked down around the injectors as well. Um, I'm not super stressed about that because I don't think the injectors themselves were leaking. I think it's just the O rings
Yeah.
based on how it ran and how it fired up and how after I shut it off, it fired up again. Normally, when you have leaky injectors, it will flood the it'll flood because when you shut it off, they still leak. It just did not do that. So I'm pretty familiar with the symptoms of leaky injectors on
Mhm.
Starions after having so many of them, but I don't
Well,
think these are leaking.
the temp sensor seems to be working too. Is it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it fired right up and idled like normally without getting up to
Yeah.
temperature. So all very, very strange stuff. But I'm happy. I mean, I'm over the moon happy. The thing, it fired up. If you go on our Instagram page, there's a video of it firing up, and it runs rough for what, 2 seconds, and then it
Yeah.
smooths right out, and it idles perfectly fine, and it revs up. I free revved it to about 3,000, 3,500. I wasn't going to sit there and try to kill it because it hasn't run in a long time. But I mean, I have no complaints about any of it. The person I bought it from, the son of the original owner, did say he thinks the turbo was bad, but I guess we'll find out. There was no smoke. Um, I wonder if there was just something else wrong with it. Maybe the fuel pump had gone bad and that's why it was parked. I don't know, but
It's the
I'm
ways
glad
disconnected.
I'm glad it broke when it broke because it probably saved the car because instead of
Yeah.
trying to fix it, they just let it sit there.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that because the person who had custody of the car was not a car person or a person that cares about anything in their life around them. So it was good that it didn't run because it would have just been driven in the ground if it did. But my guess is just based on first impressions here is that the fuel pump went bad because the second I put power to it, it was just locked up. So that was, again, probably what saved the car. So we'll take it because now I have a car that runs, which means that my next step is just replace all of the fuel system components.
Hmm.
That MKS Motorsports makes a nice set of um, stainless lines for under the hood to replace a lot of the factory lines. Not a ton of money, so I'll probably just get all those. And then I'll just have to get a few feet of that Earl's hose you talked about before to replace the rubber lines from the tank to the body. And then it's all hard line from the tank up to the engine bay. So that's all going to be, I'll just blow it out with some carb clean and flush it, and it should be fine. So it shouldn't be that difficult to change all the things. Obviously, a new fuel filter, and a new fuel filter sock on the intake of the fuel pump in the tank. But other than that, I don't think it's going to take much to get this thing up and running. And worst case scenario, even if it does wind up needing a turbo for whatever reason, I have that entire parts car, which
Yeah.
we know the turbo is fine on because it drove just fine last time I drove it, and the turbo is not going to go bad from sitting in the desert,
Mhm.
so should be okay. So I'm pretty stoked. Like I just I wished I had a gas tank. I wanted to go take it for a drive. Like it was
Yeah.
such a big moment when that car started up. Oh, I also forgot I did. Naomi and I went out on Saturday or Sunday, I forget which day, um, to a couple of Lanteras here in town, which are the Mexican tire shops, because it has a couple of tires that wouldn't hold air. So we brought the tires and wheels, the old wheels out to the tire shop and just got some random 14-inch tires to fit. Um, it'll be enough to drive around the block, but they're just $25 used tires and they're all different sizes. So it's not good enough to drive the car on. But I didn't want to invest in brand new tires for the old wheels when I'm planning on doing 15-inch wheels anyway. So
Mhm.
the $25 used tire specials work just fine in this particular situation. So one of them's a 165/85. It's comically small. I was actually thinking I'll use it as a spare in the Blue Colt.
Hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, car runs. Everything works. Like I there's it's just dumb. I don't. The car continues to surprise. The interior
Yeah.
surprised me. The electronics surprised me. Now the engine running and idling smooth surprises me. It really goes to show, and Naomi pointed this out, that it really goes to show the car was very well cared for by its previous owner,
Mhm.
and it just has been kept up to date. So
Yeah, I would just check the wastegate actuator, see if it's connected or disconnected or
Oh, yeah.
stuck,
Yeah, I'll
or
make sure
the
everything's free and moving, and
vacuum line's off it or something, and maybe that's why it feels like the turbo's not working.
I will
Is it not?
probably replace all the vacuum lines, while I'm in there, just because I don't wanna have a failure. Because the
Yeah,
first big trip with this is planning on being that drive to Central California and then a 3-day rally. So, it's gonna be ready for that. So, I'm gonna replace as many parts as I can possibly think of before I get to that point. So, and then also the Mercor has an appointment on Monday to get the exhaust fixed finally. So that means that that can get sold pretty quickly. And then if that car gets sold, that will also give me some excess cash to put into making the Starion right. So, because I'll need to buy all new suspension components and whatnot as well for the car, which are, not terribly expensive, but also not free. So I got to figure I'll probably have another couple of $1,000s in parts by the time I'm said and done. So, but yeah, I'm over the moon excited that the car fired up and idles and runs and does not smoke and it sounds smooth. There's no like rod knock sounds, or honestly, it didn't even have any like valve tapping sounds. Like the their hydraulic um, tappets, and they seem to pump up just fine real quickly. So all is well and good. It was a very positive evening of wrenching in the in the driveway in front of the garage for sure. Super stoked.
nice.
Like I said, really wanted to drive it, but could not. So, one step at a time. Patience, I guess, is the key here, of which I don't have much. So, but yeah, that's my big project car update. Um, Last week, I did a tune up on the Porsche yet?
Yeah, I think you
I
had
did.
the time belt tune up.
Well, timing belt was done, and then a week later, or 2 weeks later, I did the tune up. But
Oh, okay.
I think I had done it because I think we talked about it because I did it the weekend I got back from Massachusetts. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Just slowly ticking away at things, right? Try to
Yeah,
get down to a reasonable amount of projects, and then maybe start new projects because that's just what we do. Whatever, not doing something, I guess. But yeah, that's a huge step. I think that it's going to. My motivation is very back on that car because obviously I hadn't touched it much, but now that it runs, it's like nothing can stop me now. Just keep going. So I hope to turn a wheel on it within the next couple of weeks. If I can get that tank situation sorted out, I don't see why that would not be possible. If I get tank situation sorted out, I could probably drive the car this weekend. So I'm not. I'm very excited. So we'll see what happens.
nice.
But, yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. Any projects in your house, car or
Definitely not my
otherwise?
house. Definitely not on the cars, because like I said,
Too
it's
cold.
just we're in that weird period where it's almost spring. Um,
In
like
the not my project situation, Naomi also got her Mustang engine bay and inner fenders and everything. The whole front of the car from the firewall forward is now painted. So,
painted black, like you wanted to, or
yep, yep, it's
oh, nice.
all done. She did all the seam sealer, then body worked the whole thing up as well as she could, which is I don't say that as it's bad. It's very good. And then did a gray etching primer on everything, covered all the bare metal spots, and then ran POR 15 out of an aerosol can on top of that.
Hmm.
And it looks fresh. It looks really good. It's going to be really nice when the whole thing's put together and the whole engine bay is nice and black around it. So she's going to go out there now and touch up a few spots that were like behind the brake booster and behind some of the
You
lines
put
on
anything
the firewall.
over the POR?
No, I don't think so. POR is top coat.
Is it? I was told it
Mhm.
wasn't. I was told it's not UV stable, and you have to cover it with something.
So the stuff that comes out of the aerosol can is supposedly a top coat.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
it's not going to see any UVs under the hood anyway. So I will double
maybe,
check, but I'm pretty sure that the stuff we have is a top coat product.
maybe it's different than the brush stuff.
Or maybe there's different products available.
Yeah, maybe it's their version of like VHT chassis paint or something, or the Eastwood chassis paint. Maybe it's the POR version of that, and that's what you.
I think what we have is called top coat.
Okay, because I remember the like regular POR will get all weird being out in the elements. Like it won't rust; it'll just like it goes on like glossy, and then it'll just like dull out.
Even faded.
Yeah. So like when I replaced the tank on the Gallant, because remember that had a sumped tank a million years ago. I put a nice
I do
original tank in it. But I did that tank because the outside was just to refresh it and seal it. So that's different. Yeah, that's different stuff.
That's what we have. Top coat.
I cleaned that and then POR'd over what was there because it wasn't that rusty. Just like it had like a couple small spots, just like POR'd over the whole tank. And then the top, once it was dried, I sprayed with the epoxy paint. And then the bottom, I sprayed rubberized undercoat on it again, just to cover what was there. And that kind of refreshed it. So,
yeah, that's what I plan on doing with the Starion tank is the rubberized undercoat on the bottom when it's all said and done.
Factory.
Fixed. Plus, it'll hide all the repairs.
Exactly.
On top of it.
But
no, the stuff we used was the PUR 15 top coat. So it technically doesn't require a primer, but I can't not put primer on things.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Right, and it says that it can also go over primer. It's not going to hurt it. So, but it laid down really nice. It laid down really smooth. It looks really good. It looks like a proper chassis black. It's definitely it's definitely going to look nice in the cars altogether.
Yeah, that must be newer stuff. When you say POR to me, I think of the oily stuff that comes out of the can that gets everywhere.
Oh no, this is a paint. It's an actual.
Yeah. And when you're brushing on that POR, it looks like you're painting like a ship. Like it's like with a paintbrush or something. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's more like an undercoat than a paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is very similar to when our friend Joe did his 66 Mustang.
Yeah.
He used, I think, the same POR product, the top coat product on his engine bay.
Nice.
But it looked really nice. The next step is to put all the new front suspension in. So that's going to be a huge step. It's going to make the car a roller again, which will be very convenient. So, except for us fighting over garage time this summer with the air conditioning, but we'll get through it.
Cool.
So yeah, that's also done. But I think that's it now. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've touched. So I honestly haven't even really driven anything. It's just been, again, I've complained about it before, but having a company car is great, but also it makes it so I don't drive anything I own ever.
Well, not to like go back to the weather again, but Monday it was like 10 degrees out again. And then yesterday it was like 50. Today's like 30. But it was like, all right, you look at the long-term forecast, like next week it's gonna be a lot warmer. And I was talking to my dad, I was like, well, we'll just wait till next week to go in the garage, and then we don't have to run the heat is high.
Right.
It's like we might as well just wait. Like we're getting to the point where it's just gonna be warm enough out. So it's like if we just wait like 2 weeks, then it'll be easier to work on stuff. So
we haven't run the air conditioner in the garage yet. We've had it running on what it's called dry mode, which is basically just a heat exchange. Just runs air. It just cycles the air.
The dehumidifier.
Basically, yeah, and it blows the cool air back out of the unit onto you when you're standing in front of it, and that's been enough with the temperature the way it's been here, with how dry it's been outside. It's been able to keep that garage at a very comfortable working temperature so far, and we've not seen an uptick of any type on our electric use. So running the fan motor obviously is very efficient. So we'll see what happens when the air conditioner runs on. But so far so good with just the fan running. So and like I said, it hasn't been cool midday. It's been in the 90s, but obviously in the midday hours, I'm working my real job, so I'm not in the garage. And then at nighttime, it cools off a little bit, which is when I've been out there. But
Yeah.
still been nice and comfortable, so I'll take it. But still happy with the investment.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's it. That's all I've been doing project car wise. I worked on the Tamiya Monster Beetle a little bit. That's almost done. For scale project car stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
I think I got
I
to
put
paint
the
something figured out.
electronics in the load transfer chassis. That's about all I did.
Load transfer chassis I'm excited about. That's your new drift chassis that has like very dynamic suspension, so it looks like an old car turning.
It rolls a lot. So
Yeah,
it's a roll. Sometimes they call it a roll chassis.
sure.
But
It just it's exaggerated movements, which
Mhm.
make it look cool. So
yeah, I got to play with the weight balance a little bit, the way I have it set up. But it should be fun to tune that thing. And then I've got more parts coming for the TTO2 conversion. And I was running the MBO1 a little bit the other night, and it runs pretty good. I added oil shocks. I don't know if I talked about that, and the high mount battery that helped it. It's not
yeah, I think we chatted
as,
about that last week.
it's not as nice as the Yokomo, but it's just fun to. It was different
Sure,
to
it's
run
just
it for a few
something
minutes.
different, right? Yeah,
Yeah, and everybody enjoys seeing it. So.
sure. Something totally different is always cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Coda this week was NASCAR.
Yeah. So speaking of, you've got NASCAR is actually coming to you this weekend,
Mm-hmm. Yes, to
and
me
then
personally.
I am upset at the IndyCar marketing. I feel like it was really, really bad. It wasn't until the NASCAR race last weekend that they were like, "Oh, by the way, Indy's doing the double in Phoenix on
Yeah,
Saturday."
I live here and had no idea.
Yeah, because they're right. They're like, for the first time ever in the same weekend, they're doing an IndyCar and NASCAR race.
And if you
That's
rewind 2 episodes last year, I was like, why doesn't NASCAR run weekends with IndyCar?
Yeah, that should have been a huge deal. For some reason, not. I don't know.
Nope.
Because
Yeah, it should have
I
been
would have
very huge.
made an effort to come out and visit you just to go see that for the weekend, the two
Yeah, if you
races.
were out here, I probably would have gone to both races. It would have been really fun.
Yeah.
But
So,
I did definitely not going to IndyCar. I have other commitments now on Saturday. So
speaking of IndyCar, so yeah, last weekend you had the St. Petersburg race was
yep.
at for Indy, and they had NASCAR trucks run the St. Petersburg road course.
Yeah.
Did you watch that race?
I caught the last stage, most of the last stage.
Yeah, that was a great race.
Yep.
That was
Yeah,
super
from what
fun.
I saw. I was going to record it. I planned on coming home and watching it, but actually, outside, unrelated story, I had to go to your father-in-law's house for something.
Yeah,
And when I got there, they were watching it, so we watched
yeah,
the end of the race there.
yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see them on a street course. I think
It was,
they've run road courses before, but this is the first time they ran a street course.
yes. And the race was much better than the race they ran at Lime Rock. That was actually kind of
It was
boring.
it was competitive. Yeah, there was a lot
Yeah.
going on. It was
I
also
don't know
really
what
cool that Dario Franchitti was running the race. Like that's super cool.
yes. Did you watch? So I had recorded, so I watched basically the whole thing. Did you see they had a camera on his feet as he was driving? He got up to like fifth. He didn't really lead the race, but like he was really wheeling that thing,
He was doing
jamming
really
gears.
well, and then he had electrical problems.
Yeah,
I did see some footage of his footwork because he changed partway through the race. Did he not?
I think so. But he was doing it more like SVG they were talking about, like where he was
Sure.
riding the clutch and like using it to go through the corners, and then left foot braking and or double clutch, like
Just
what you call it,
a lot of heel and toe.
heel and toe. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twink.
They're
The
they're a little
twinks.
more. Oh yeah. Yeah. Linking the twin turns, whatever he said. Call it, yeah.
It
Oh,
was
Michael Waltrip.
yeah, it was Michael Waltrip during the live
Yeah.
broadcast. He's talking about the cars going through the S's or whatever.
The S's, or as he called them, twin kinks. Or oh, it's a better
Twinks.
name for that. We'll call them twinks. Instant laughter.
The other announcer was like,
Yeah, the announcer was like, "No, don't say that again."
But yeah, that was a good race.
Oh, yeah.
Super entertaining. Uh, and the reason why they did that was because it would probably been too much to have 3 series at Coda doing a road course. So they let the trucks do
I
St.
mean, would it
Petersburg.
have been if they ran it
Maybe.
the same way they always do, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Like, what's
Yeah.
the big deal?
So
I
all
think
right.
it was more for the promotion to promote
Yeah.
NASCAR with IndyCar,
Yeah.
which was the first time they thought about any kind of promotion because
Yeah.
obviously we didn't know about it till then.
Yeah.
So it's
So
frustrating.
then
The funny thing is that open wheel racing in Phoenix right now, it would be very popular for them to have pushed it because Red Bull's doing this whole thing in the city of Phoenix right now with the Red Bull F1 car for some reason.
okay.
Like they're doing all kinds of appearances with it. Like I sat in front of City Hall yesterday, and then it's
Weird.
going in front of some bar this weekend, and this whole like F1 Red Bull Ford like fan center event happening this weekend.
Hmm.
So it would have been a great weekend to be like, oh, if you want to see open wheel racing in Phoenix, guess what? It's right here. It's not
Yeah.
F1, but some cross promotion would have been good. So
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
care about F1 enough to go look at an F1 Red Bull IndyCar sitting parked in a parking lot, but
no.
whatever.
So yeah, first 2 races, Daytona, Echo Park, which is Atlanta Speedway. We talked about it. Tyler Reddick has won both. So
Yep.
then it was like, could he go for the three-peat at a road course? And it was like, maybe unlikely because he had SVG and a bunch of other road course guys.
Yep.
But Tyler
But
Reddick has
he's come
been
close before.
he's been very good on road courses. Uh, honestly, I was a bit going into this. We're not really spoiling anything because it's been over a week. It was big news.
If you care about NASCAR at all, you already know.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if he can do it. It's like a tall order, and it'd be really cool if he could do it. He goes out. Well, first of all, let's talk about the. Did you watch the? It's the O'Reilly series now, not Xfinity. Did you
Yes.
watch the O'Reilly series race
I did
on
not watch the whole race. I watched
the
the
highlights?
highlights afterwards.
Watch
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So that race was amazing, and SVG won it.
Hmm.
That had a ton of back and forth. Um, it's worth go watch the highlights on YouTube. It's worth watching.
It looked like there's a
Uh,
lot of good racing between Connor Zilic and SVG
yeah,
with that one too.
yep. So going into it, you're like, SVG's hot, like,
Sure.
uh, and then Tyler Reddick puts himself on the pole for the Cup race, and you're like, okay, all
Yeah,
right.
this could happen. Yeah.
So like he's like, but not often, not always does the pole winner win the race. That's not
It's
a
not this is not
guarantee.
Formula One. Yeah.
And you know, sometimes the way the car is set up to get the pole, it doesn't work well in race trim.
It
So
doesn't have the longevity, it just has the one lap speed.
yeah, and SVG was only back in like 13th or something. Like didn't really have a good qualifying, which I guess
Which
now kind of think of it, like his car wasn't as good as it could have been.
also, I think that his qualifying effort was probably hampered because he spent all day driving an O'Reilly series car and then immediately
Maybe.
afterwards had to qualify in a cup car, which is a different car. You gotta drive it
Yeah.
totally differently. So he might
Yeah.
not have had enough time to transition from one car to the other.
Yeah. However, I mean, the car that Chastain had, maybe they should have given to uh, SVG, I guess, because he qualified second.
Yep.
But
Yeah, he was hauling all day too.
um, yeah, so like it was quite a race. Like it's definitely worth going to watch the. I don't want to recap the
Sure.
whole thing because like so much stuff happened, like so much passing.
I think
Um,
the one of my favorite moments of the whole race was the battle between the 5 and the 20.
yeah,
They were leaning on each other for the better part of the 3rd stage, I think,
yeah.
and they were just banging doors for lap after lap after lap. It was really cool to watch. So, I think it was
I
20 the
mean,
5 and the 20.
everyone like that's a decent road course racer had a good day at one point.
Sure.
Like Chastain was up front, SVG was up front. I think Allmendinger got up front, McDowell got up front, and then just
Yep.
through like different strategies, people cycled through. Uh, and or even Ryan Blaney was doing really well for a while.
Yeah,
And
he was like a favorite for a while.
yeah, it kind of like it was like, all right, maybe Reddick doesn't have it here. But as the stages went on, and the last stage, the last like 20 laps, it was like you could tell SVG's car was not as good, and he was really wheeling it hard to get it up to him and try to make that pass, and he just couldn't quite do it. Uh, if his car was a little bit better, just a tiny bit better, it would have been a different story.
Sure.
Like he certainly did not give Tyler Reddick that win, like because
You
he was
didn't
trying
give
to
it
break
to
the
him, no.
no, he was trying to break the record for the most consecutive road course wins.
Yeah, no matter which one won, a new record was going to stand,
Yeah,
right? Because both of them were tied for that record. Tyler Reddick for winning the first 2 races of the season, and SVG for winning 5 in a row on road courses, which tied him with Jeff Gordon, I think.
yeah,
Which is also wild because I don't remember Jeff Gordon being that dominant on road courses,
he
but I guess he
was.
was.
I remember
Yeah.
because there was only 2 road course races for so many years, right? And he would
So he
win
won
every
like 2.5 years straight of them. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I remember that. But what was incredible was watching through the S's, SVG just absolutely get right to the back bumper, and then on that front stretch through the start finish line, I don't know what they did to that 2311 car, but it was a rocket. Like,
So the announcers were talking about it. They were describing the fact that he had more grip in the last turn, so he could toss the car in and get back on the gas earlier. So it made it seem like the car just would outdrag him on straightaway every time because he got back into the gas halfway through the turn when SVG didn't have enough tire left. I think that's the biggest thing that happened was SVG drove the tires off his car trying to get around Reddick.
yeah,
I think if he got around Reddick when they had more close tires, I think that he might have driven away from Reddick. But I think that he Reddick gave him too much of a battle and he blocked him too well and he raced him too well that he just drove the tires off the car with, 2 or 3 laps left. He had nothing left. The car was just it was done and didn't have enough grip to keep up anymore. So,
like everybody fell off. I mean,
yeah.
like I
Yeah.
couldn't believe that he kept going and put 5 seconds on him. It was like 4.5,
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Yeah, that's how far the tires fell off though. It was a big fall off moment.
And they did talk about, I think they changed the tire compound, and they added horsepower for road courses.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Whatever they did worked because it was a very
the
entertaining
racing was
race.
great.
Yep.
It was really good, and I hope the next the first, other than a little bit of fuel mileage stuff at Daytona, the first 3
Yeah,
races so far have been really, really good.
they have been.
Tons of passing, tons of lead changes. Also, like, underdog teams are leading in points by a lot.
So Reddick has 100 points over 8th place,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
absurd
yeah.
in any way. And if you look at the
When
top 10, in the top 10, there's only 3 legacy teams,
yeah,
cars in the top 10 because it's Reddick and Bubba, and then you have Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney. So that's 2
yeah,
legacy teams. But then you have Ginsbergen, Joey Logano, legacy team. But then Suarez, who's running for
Spire.
Spire this year, and then AJ Allmendinger in 8th, Michael McDowell and Carson Hocevar in 10th. So like
Yeah,
that's the wildest top 10 through more than a couple of races that's ever happened.
and for a
So
guy that, everybody's like, "Can you win in an oval?" SVG's
he's
been
gonna
in
win an oval.
3, like, 3 top 10s, right?
No, he did not have a top 10 in Daytona because of the crash at the end. He wound up finishing like 30th or something.
Oh, okay.
But before the crash happened, he was in like 9th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he did enough good points that, you know
Yeah.
and then, yeah, I don't know what happened to that first turn on that restart at the end, the last stage, with, like, 20 laps to go, they got real or 10 laps to go, they got, like, real, real wide, they fanned out when
Dominoes.
when you had, Reddick, Blaney, and then SVG and Zilch behind him,
Zillich.
it
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, this is gonna be a good
Anybody's
race."
game. Yeah.
And then they fanned out, and then something happened, and
Suarez
Suarez
got into the
like
side of somebody who got into the side of somebody who got into the side of Zillich. It was
knocked
just a
Zilch out, which is unfortunate,
yeah,
but
nothing you
kid's
can do
young.
about it. He was, especially he's 19 years old. He'll have plenty of chances in the future.
He'll win some races.
So
Um, But man, oh
Just
man,
hooked on
if
it. And now Phoenix is going to be good because Phoenix is another 1.5 mile track, I think, right? So, and it has that huge fan out corner in it that is fun to watch all the cars just kind of
I
scramble
mean,
around. And
I
be
don't think
fun.
it's possible to win 4 in a row. Like that would
It'd
be
be amazing if he did.
the odds are
Um,
not there.
and
But
his paint scheme this week is so much better than the Chumba Casino one.
oh my gosh, this silly jump stuff.
Yeah.
The scheme sucks.
Yeah, he's running a
He's running an
Jordan
actual jump
liveried
man.
car. Yeah. So that'll be cool. But
Man, maybe SVG will win the oval.
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I
So
know that Christopher Bell is always the favorite at Phoenix, so we'll see what happens.
the Toyotas have been fast.
They have been.
So
They have been, but Christopher Bell knows Phoenix. He's won here multiple times, so I don't know if I've ever seen anybody else win here personally.
and I don't, well, not in person. I mean, Chastain won.
That's what I mean in person. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chastain
I
won
don't
last year.
know
I wasn't there.
what. Yeah, it's so funny because people are like, "Oh, it's of course the lawsuit team has won 3 in a row." And you're like, what reason would they? Why would they do that?
That is not a thing.
Why would they let them win?
Conspiracy people try for everything they possibly can. So
They just
whatever.
they have a really strong team right now. I don't know. It's just whatever's working for them, it's working. So
Well, you should try to get out here for the fall race. So
are they doing a second race? It's not the season ender. That's the only difference.
it's not the championship race this
Yeah.
year, but it is still a playoff race.
Okay. I'll see. I am kind of bummed that I didn't realize IndyCar because I would like to see IndyCar again. That was Indy 500 was cool, but seeing it on
Yeah,
a
it's good
different oval with better sight lines where you could actually see them like the entire time would be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I do wish that I thought about it. Maybe I would have gotten tickets, but again, I already have plans now for that same day, so it's just not going to happen. So yeah, the NASCAR race is this weekend, and then October, I think, is the next NASCAR race. So October during the chase, they're going to have all three again. They're going to have trucks, the O'Reillys, and then the Cup cars all weekend long. So the track's only about 25 minutes from my house, so
Yeah.
easy to go to all three races.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to how well Coda was. I'm definitely looking forward to the street course at San Diego.
Yep. Which we already have tickets for. So
yep. So that should be interesting because who will win, right? There's about 4 or 5 guys that are like real strong favorites. So
it's not a guaranteed SVG thing. So
nope.
Unless it rains.
But yeah, well, but never rains in San Diego, does it?
Very rarely. As the
Um,
song goes, man, it pours.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's like he really did raise the level, so that's good.
Sure. Yep. And other drivers have now they realize what they have to do in order to keep up. So he's not unbeatable. He's just good.
And they're not unbeatable on ovals because he's making headway there. So
Yep. This might be his year. We'll see. Anyway, what else is going on? Any other project car, scale project car stuff? Anything else? Nothing else?
I get nothing. That's it.
All right. Well, I'll continue to carry the torch here in the bad weather in the East Coast with doing project car stuff. So I genuinely hope that I'm able to have a big update on Starion next weekend too.
I hope so too.
All depends on parts availability and timing, but I shall at least have a Mercor update, and probably that's it. So,
all
hopefully
right,
I'll have that for sale next week. But yeah, probably keep it a little shorter this week because we don't have a ton to talk about. So rather than ramble on,
yeah, as they
I'm
say,
moving
that's it
on.
from my end. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram, Out Off Topic Podcast. I'm Race Anger on Instagram. We've also got Scale Autocast. It's a couple cool RC drift videos up there last night, the other night at the track.
Oh yeah, mind you, GoPro to the top of your race car. That was kind of a cool idea.
And it worked out really well. It worked out better than I thought.
It's
So,
neat because it looks like it has some kind of tracking in it. So when the car goes sideways, it like didn't.
yes, stabilization. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Built in.
almost looked like it was tracking the car in front of it a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tricky to chase because I have to be cognizant of where the front of the car is because it points the camera, right? So
Right.
I'm not getting as much. I'm just chasing them from behind, but not going as much sideways.
Right. You try to
Which
capture the actual video.
Yeah, which is tricky because if you're not going sideways and don't have wheel speed, it understeers.
Sure.
The car wants to be sideways. That's how it's set up to handle.
It's almost like you have to ask for special permission to put a regular RC car out there with rubber tires.
I was thinking about bringing it up. Like if hey, if I built a TTO2 with just low power and some slicks on it, and we just had it
It's
as a
just
chase car.
a stock silver can 540.
Yeah, and we
TTO2
just use
all-wheel
it as a
drive.
chase car because
Yeah.
with 4-wheel drive and a stock, it'll be a rocket with
Yeah,
compared to
100%.
everything else.
Doesn't need to keep up. It'll be easy.
Yeah,
So,
and it'll have grip and not understeer on me. But
yeah, and then you could do a chase you could do a chase cam, or you could do a camera facing backwards too and run in front of them.
yeah,
So
yeah, that might be something in the future. I'll try to work on them.
that'd be really neat.
Because they're doing a comp this weekend. I don't have to judge it. I thought I was going to judge it, but yeah, I'm going to take.
They run SDS Scale Drift Series there, or is it something else?
It's confusing because the names are really close, and I can't remember it off the top of my head if it's like Super Drift Series and like Scale Drift Series or something.
Okay.
Well,
it's like your RC drift track, and the one out here are like Tandemonium and Tandem RC.
Yeah,
like it's so close.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I'll probably compete at the next one. I just want to see what it's like, but I'm gonna take some pictures and it's kind of cool because I can do motorsports photography without worrying about being killed by a car. It's not gonna fly off and
Hit my race car, bruise my ankle. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. All right.
I guess I mean you can't wear shoes on the track, so you still get your toe broken.
I don't need to go on the track though. That's the thing. It's so small. I just stand right on the edge.
I guess during actual motorsports photography, you're probably also not supposed to be on the track. So,
yeah.
kind of the same thing.
It's just I'm like a Godzilla to these things.
I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures of the comp. That should be cool.
Yeah. Good way to get
Just your
into
small scale photography.
Yeah, lightweight motorsport photography without having to do much. So
hey, maybe there's a market for it you don't know about. You could be
there probably is.
You could be as famous as like a Larry Chen for big cars, but for scale cars.
It turns out, I brought like the short lens. Maybe I talked about this one time. And it was like, okay. And then I just happened to bring the big zoom lens, the 200 millimeter. I'd use it in an actual event. And one of the guys was like, yeah, usually he's like, when I do it, I use the big lens. Believe it or not, it actually works better. I was like, okay. So I tried it. And sure enough, I was like, okay, so this is literally just like the only difference is I'm laying on the ground to get the right angle.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's exactly the same. I'm like, this is weird, but that it works, but it does.
Hey, whatever. Speaking of Larry Chen, actually off topic, we'll go back into talking about something for a minute here. Did you watch his video in Boston?
I didn't watch it. I saw the Instagram post about it.
So yeah, he did a whole thing with cars in Boston in the middle of wintertime.
Yeah.
Obviously a strange thing to do.
Yeah.
But it was all due to, well, it was all because of timing for corporate stuff, I guess, because he did that 7-Eleven car of the year car that won was from Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's that S15. It's a white S15.
Okay.
Anyway, I watched the video, and it just made me realize one thing.
What?
It made me feel aged because it was a video about the Boston car scene.
Yeah.
And there was not one car or person in the entire video that I'd ever met or seen or had any awareness of. And if they had done that 20 years ago, it would have been all of our friends.
Yeah, probably.
So
I recognize the red RX-7 I saw at Japanese Car Day.
FB.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the car. I didn't know any of the cars or any of the people. They were saying people's names, showing cars, and I was like, I don't know any of these cars. I mean, I wouldn't know like the Lamborghinis and the Porsches and stuff, but there was a bunch of old Japanese cars too that that would have been our scene back in the day, but we're just too old now.
I'd have to go back and look at the Instagram post. I probably know the cars, and it just didn't phase me because I saw them at Japanese Car Day. Like you'll see them at Lars
Yeah,
Anderson
maybe,
or something. It's not a big deal.
maybe. And I've been gone almost a decade, I guess. What, 7 years this year? So, nonetheless, it was odd because I expected to see at least a familiar face,
Yeah,
but
I guess.
didn't see any. So it was neat to see him doing something out there. I mean, it's neat to see every local car scene get its due, but it's also strange to do it in the middle of wintertime to make people take their show cars out in the salty roads.
Yeah.
I was watching, the guy driving the RWB Porsche, and I was like, man, I've seen how they cut those cars apart. I wouldn't want to drive that car in the salt.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But
Yeah.
whatever. Guess a good car washing afterwards is fine. So anyway, it's a somewhat entertaining video. The most exciting part for me was when there's a polar truck in the background. I was like, oh, I know that one, but I don't didn't know anything else. So anyway, that's all.
All right. Brad, where can people find you?
Instagram, TSISS350. I'm trying to post some more again. I've been down on Instagram lately because it's really pushing for video content over still photo content, which I don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
And not that I care about, like count or any of that stuff, but I at least want people to see my stuff. And it seems like it's not being seen anymore because I'm not posting videos or not posting reels, I guess.
Yeah.
In fact, I was just looking, and if you scroll, if I log into my Instagram and start scrolling, out of the first 15 posts, only 6 of them are things that I follow on purpose. The rest of it is all suggested posts or advertisements. And it's just like I don't want any of this. I just want to look at pictures of cars the people I know are posting. Like it's the social media world's getting tough out there, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it, but can we just go back to pictures, please?
Yep.
Please.
All right.
YouTube videos, Instagram pictures.
We'll keep this audio only podcast. So anyway, for now, we'll see. We maybe have to
still
move.
Pictures, still picture podcast only to be a picture of our face.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. As always, keep yours analog. Name the roses.